Okay, so welcoming aboard for the first time her date. That's how I say it about everyone. Debut slash return to Zaslow Show 2.0 because it's kind of like in the middle. I don't know. It's a debut, but it's also a return. And of course, one of my favorite girls in the whole wide world is Joy Taylor, who is out there on the West Coast. Hello, Joy. How are you?
What's up, Zaslow? Zaslow 2.0.
Zaslow Show 2.0. Are you telling all your friends?
I am. I share your stuff like every day, as I'm sure you see. I'm very proud of you, and you're doing a great job. And I love that picture of me right behind you. It's like over
Oh,
your
right
left
here. Am I
shoulder.
pointing to it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's you're we're with I think we're with Dolph Ziggler from WWE. I think that's let me see. Yeah. Yeah, that's who's in the picture
Is
with
that
us.
it?
Dolph Ziggler. Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was my last day on the show. I do remember that show, the one with Dolph.
No, I actually don't have the picture the last day on the show, which I yeah, I don't have it up here. It's a great picture. Do you still have it? I think I framed it for you, right?
Yeah, yeah, I still have it. And then the picture behind your head is hilarious too. That was from Humiliation Pool, which Levitard show notoriously stole. Yes, I had to mow the lawn at Slim's house that day.
That's right. We you had to do yeah. So for folks who are watching Zaslow Show 2.0 right now, watching for joy. All right, we used to do Humiliation Pool, which yes, Lebitard show totally stole from us. All right, their wheel of death. We had a wheel of humiliation. All right, and for folks who aren't aware, 790 a ticket. R.I.P. Great station. R.I.P. We were both on the station at the same time, Zaslow and Joy and the Dan Lebitard show, and they straight up stole Humiliation Pool. They call it the bucket of death. They have it's exactly what we were doing. And you had to wash our cars wearing Daisy Dukes one time. You had to mow the lawn of one of our producers, but it's a great picture. This one right here. It's a really nice
It is.
picture, right?
It's very cute. I had to mow the lawn. I had to dress up like a cowboy, I think. I had to dress up in a gown for work one day. I had to get slapped in the face with a fish.
Yeah, I slapped
I
you so
got
hard.
it was awful. I had scales on my face. I got shot by a paintball gun by John
Yeah.
Crotty.
Yeah.
And what else did I have to do? There were quite a few of them, but yeah, we were the originators of the humiliation pool. And I think we did it better if I must say so myself. I remember Sugats came on and told us that they were straight up stealing our bit.
Yep.
Um, and we had to eat it, and we did. But it was a good time. Good memories.
ESPN has stolen a bunch of my stuff over the years. They think that see they ESPN thinks they're slick, all right? Because I do big deal, not a big deal. When you call your segment, is it a big deal or not a big deal? That's the same thing. You don't get to add is it at the start and expect me not to notice. That's the same thing.
Well, we have a saying in the business: nothing is new, and we all just kind of steal bits from each other and like pretend that we're not doing it. But that one was pretty notorious because they absolutely did steal it, and called, and Stugatz called and said, "Yeah, we're stealing it."
I
It's
better
amazing.
not see anyone on television do a segment called Big Game or Not a Big Game. I'm gonna be freaking pissed. I mean, no, and big movie, not a big movie. You better not steal big movie, not a big movie. At least not without asking me. Nobody better do that. So hey, I want to hear about Speak FS1 Speak every day, 4:30 to 6 p.m. Listen, the other guys in the show may not want to hear me say it. You're the star of the show. All right. You're the star of the show. I record it every day. I watch it every day. I don't necessarily watch the whole show, but I'll start it from the beginning. I watch like the first 20, 30 minutes at least because I want to get a feel of what the big topics are. You know, what's the A block? What's the B block? You left such a successful show. I mean, it's probably the top radio show in the country, Colin Cowherd. I know you were nervous about leaving. We've talked about this, but have you gotten to a point where you realized, I mean, like what I'm doing right now is so great. It was definitely the right choice.
Yeah, I mean, I felt good about the transition because I had worked with Emmanuel a lot and I knew LaShawn a little bit. I didn't know Dave Hellman before we started doing the show, but he's been great. And I was really ready to take the next step in my career and really step into that full-time opinionist role, which, as you know, was always my goal from the very beginning of my career. And yeah, it's scary, like you said, to leave a show that has, the audience that the Herd has, the support that Colin's given me, and, something that I've done for 3 years. But it's been great. And the response has been overwhelmingly positive, which for anything that you do in today's world is a bonus if you just have a little bit more positive than negative. And I feel like the reaction has been overwhelmingly positive. So yeah, it's been great, and Colin was super supportive of it, which also made the transition very easy as well.
Do you get nervous, or it's no big deal?
No, I don't. I don't know. I don't know how you feel about it, but like I just whenever I'm prepared for something, I don't get nervous. The only time I get nervous is when someone throws something at me and I'm like, I don't know what we're doing here. Like I don't want to say something crazy or speak out of turn. But as far as like being on TV or any of that, I don't get nervous anymore. And really, like the only thing to be nervous about is if you don't know what you're talking about. So, I'm never in that space.
I like getting nervous before. Now, I don't get nervous a ton, but whenever I do get nervous, I like getting nervous. It means that it's like important to me, and it also helps me concentrate when I'm nervous.
Yeah, I mean, I don't for the first show for sure. For the first week, I was obviously hyper focused because we were doing a show that we'd never actually even done before. Like the whole format was different than we've ever done before as well. So definitely, like the first show, the first time I was on Her, the first time I did Undisputed, anything that's new, you get nervous initially. But now, doing the show, you get into a routine.
And are the guys nice to you? Are they treating you well?
yeah. No, it's a great hang. We have a really fun pre-show meeting. We usually start with like some random topic that has nothing to do with the show, and that kind of loosens everybody up. But they're great to work with. We're all around the same age too, so we share a lot of cultural references. And while we all kind of have different points of views on something, we're all on some things. We're all very respectful communicators. So even when things get heated, there's always a way to kind of bring some levity to conversations. So they've all been great to work with, and they're all nice to me.
Do you love LA?
I've gotten used to LA, I think. It's kind of hard to really love a place where you don't have any family. So I think that's probably been the one thing that's made LA not really feel like home. Like Miami feels like home to me. My two brothers are there, my mom, and Pittsburgh obviously is a place that feels like home as well, a place I grew up. But I've been in LA for almost 7 years, and it's still kind of feels like the place I work. I mean, it's an amazing city. It's definitely worse places you could be. It's beautiful. The beaches are amazing. It's sunny every day. It's perfect weather. There's a million things to do, a million restaurants and shows, and like it's a great place to live. I think just the disconnect for me has always been that I don't have a family here.
How
that makes sense.
Yeah, of course. How great is it that you just started this show, and I would imagine every day you do a segment on the Dolphins.
It is great. It's pretty crazy. I obviously have a lot of Dolphins fans in my life, and I was just talking to Rick the other day, Rick, Dr. Rick, and I was like, it's really wild to me that for so many years I said I don't think I'll see a Dolphins Super Bowl in my lifetime. Right? Like we used to say that, like we will not see a Dolphins Super Bowl in my lifetime. And now I'm like, no, they're legitimately the best team in the league, the best team in the AFC. And we talk about them every day. And they have a legitimate chance this year. Like it's almost like shell shock to me because I've been watching this team for 25 years. And, obviously have a deep emotional connection to the team. But I've also been through so many years where like you get excited about something and it's disappointment for one reason or another. And it's almost like I'm like traumatized to believe that it's actually real, if that makes sense. Like I think for people who haven't been fans of the team for very long, maybe they don't understand where I'm coming from when I'm like, this is really amazing what's happening with the Dolphins. Like they've really turned it around. Even from the beginning of the year, like it came into this year with scandal. The owner was suspended beginning of this year.
Yeah.
I think Mike McDaniel, I think we're kind of glossing over. Like the Tua story is amazing. And I'm really happy for him. And I'm happy that Dolphins fans finally have a franchise quarterback that they can like get excited about and back and feel great about. The other side of it to me, though, is Mike McDaniel has done really something unprecedented when you talk about coaching for the Miami Dolphins. Like, let's just go over the coaches that have been in Miami. Just say over the last like 15 years, all the turnover, all the ridiculous moves, just disappointment after disappointment and chaos and front office mess. And it's like Mike McDaniel has come in, made an environment where Tua feels comfortable and confident, worked with the front office in a way that it really feels like there's no drama going on. And there's great people that work in the Miami Dolphins front office. Being able to collaborate with everyone, run an organization that has like a culture and has a Miami energy, like doesn't come in and it feels like we're trying to be something other than what Miami is. It's incredible. And for him to do that in his first year, I don't think is a small thing.
I sent my buddy a text message late in the game on Sunday afternoon when we were kicking the shit out of the Browns. And this is the first time I have ever sent this text message, first time in my life, because, you know, texting only became a thing like around 03-ish, 04. You know, texting hasn't been around for really 20 years even. So this is literally the first time I have ever sent this text. It was with a question mark at the end of it. And the question was, Dolphins winning the Super Bowl? And that's the first time in my life that I've ever sent that text message. That's how long it's been since the Dolphins have been a legit contender. Text messaging didn't exist.
I know, and I think that's kind of overlooked because, and I also think that's part of the reason why a lot of Dolphins fans are, and rightfully so, very, very cocky but confused as to why a lot of the national media is not fully leaning in. As like they haven't won a playoff game in 22 years.
Yeah,
like it's no small thing that we are now actual real contenders. And like there's Dolphins fans who are watching this team who weren't alive the last time that the Dolphins won a playoff game.
Right.
Like I was 10 years old when I started watching the Dolphins. I'm 35. I'm gonna be 36 years old. So yeah, I mean it's an amazing thing. I'm really happy for Dolphins fans who have ate a lot of shit over the years. And been very loyal and gotten dragged publicly in the national media for not being good fans, not showing up. And none of that is true. And I think it's great.
And what we're experiencing right now, Joy, and I've talked about this week, is, you know, when I was growing up, we only had football. We had the Dolphins and Hurricanes. And then in 1988, we had a basketball team. And then by the end of 94, we had a hockey and a baseball team. But for the very early stages of my childhood, we only had football. So obviously, it was a football town for many, many, many years. It has not been that for a really long time. It has without a doubt been a basketball town. But now, this year, for folks who have never experienced it, you're seeing and you're feeling what it feels like down here when football is the biggest thing. And this is the first time that I have felt this in over 20 years.
Yeah, because the NFL is the biggest sport in the country. So we love our Heat, you know, and we love our basketball, but the NFL is king. So to be able to not only have a team you're excited about, but a team that's winning, like it's not just like, oh, we're really excited about this one player and want to see what they develop into or whatever. Like they're winning. They're winning against big teams. They're winning in different ways. And like that's something that you can't fabricate. It's like we've tried we've tried to talk ourselves into a couple different versions of the Miami Dolphins over the years that we could get excited about, and this one is actually legit. And
like
yeah,
if they're playing
experience.
like this, Joy, if they're playing like this going into the playoffs and hosting not just a first round game, but right now they're second in the AFC, so they would actually host 2 playoff games. And if we go into the playoffs like where we are right now, this town is going to be ape shit. It's going to be like we've never seen before. Like it's going to feel like whatever would have felt like if there were social media when Marino had the season he threw for almost 5,000 yards. Like that's what it's going to feel like.
Yeah, 100%. And Dolphins fans should feel like that is coming. The Dolphins are to me, they're the best team in the AFC. Like, obviously, the Chiefs have a better record, and that's because Tua was hurt. But I think you have to give the Chiefs a little bit of grace that they've won a Super Bowl and Patrick Mahomes has won an MVP, and they're perennial contenders. But you look around the rest of the AFC, it's a lot of questions. Like Buffalo is at the current moment collapsing. You can say whatever you want about how great they are, and like I thought Josh Allen was going to win the MVP, but I think that's off the table now. There's no, I don't think there's a chance he can.
You can't have 3 straight poor games and be in the MVP conversation. Can't do it.
Poor. They have been abysmal. His last 3 games have been abysmal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it is a legitimate conversation to say that the Dolphins are the best or second best team in the AFC. And when you look at the NFC, you should feel really good about that, because I think even the Eagles, who I still have a lot of respect for, people have a lot of questions about the Eagles. I don't as much. Like the Commanders had a nice game, really had a good game plan, and were able to run the ball. Like outside of the Eagles, I don't trust any team in the NFC. So really, whoever is going to come out of the AFC will probably be the team that I think will win the Super Bowl. Obviously, it's a long time from now, so we'll see how it plays out. But the Dolphins have a legitimate chance to go very, very far this year, and it's great.
Obviously, when we found out about all the Brady stuff that Stephen Ross wanted Brady a few years ago, to be like, yeah, that'd have been so amazing. Brady won the Super Bowl in Tampa. He could have done it here. I don't know what would have happened. It would have been amazing if the Dolphins had Brady. We're all thinking when that news came out. But now you think about it, it's like, it's so much better when it's your guy that's the quarterback, when it's your guy leading the team and you're not like renting a Lamborghini for a couple years,
No, it's look, a lot of the conversation around Tua started with the organization, for whatever reason, not backing him from day one. It's been one of the most fascinating things that I've watched in the NFL over the past few years. And obviously, I had a lot of questions about Tua, and wasn't sure if he was the guy going into this season. And he has absolutely stepped up, and a lot of things have come into play with that. But he rode through all the waves of the organization trying to replace him 3 different times. It's so much better that Tua is the guy that the Dolphins drafted, that they have now built around, and is now taking the team to the next level.
Such a different experience.
Then especially, I mean, obviously I was wildly against the Deshaun Watson trade. And I mean, good on Tua for sitting up there every single week and having to answer questions about that potential move. Yeah, I mean, he's so much better than me, because there's no way I would have been able to do that. But the Tom Brady thing, like Tom Brady was beating our ass year after year after year. And now to come in the same division, to come now and be winning with this team, it would not feel the same. Like, nope. Would Dolphins fans appreciate the wins? Of course. Like, we love winning, and that would have been great. But the fact that it's Tua, the fact that he was drafted here, the fact that the team and the fan base adores him, and he is a Miami Dolphin, is so much cooler.
Joy, have you seen Black Panther Wakanda Forever? I will tell you, one of the things I miss the most about doing the show with you, about ZASLOW and Joy, is our movie and television tastes are the same. So I was able to talk about all that stuff with you. We used to watch all the same shows and all the same movies. I missed that. Have you seen Black Panther: Wakanda Forever?
I'm seeing it tomorrow night. I couldn't
Oh,
this weekend because I had
oh,
a bunch of sports lined up, but I'm seeing it tomorrow night. I have my tickets. I'm very excited. I have
it's
heard amazing
phenomenal.
things. And
Phenomenal.
thankfully, through a lot of strategic operating, I have avoided any spoilers. So
Good.
knock on wood, that will continue. Um, but yeah, I'm going to see it tomorrow night, and I'm very excited.
What TV show? I'll leave you with this, Joy. What TV show are you watching right now? Are you binging any shows?
So obviously, I watched House of Dragon,
What a
which was
show.
amazing.
What a show.
So glad it's back. And I really didn't have another show that I was working on, so I needed a show to start binging, and I chose Succession.
Oh,
And what a great choice!
I'm so jealous of you because like I wish that I have never seen Secession so I could go back and watch it for the first time. That it's the best show on TV. It's an incredible show.
It's really really good, and I love when I make these choices because then I get to just binge it,
Yeah.
and I get to experience it, and then I catch up to like the new season, and just it's just it's so great.
Are you all the way
Instead of
through
having
it?
to wait. No, I'm like very early in. I'm still in the first season,
It's it,
so
it's it is it's an incredible show and it just keeps getting better.
and I love villains. Like villains are my well, I don't know what's wrong with me, but they're my favorite part of any show because that's what makes a show compelling is being able to like root against something happening. And for whatever reason, villains tend to have so much more depth to their characters. So I love
Well,
Cersei.
their
I think Cersei's
villains are goal oriented, essentially.
correct. Correct. And so like to me, Cersei was the best character in all Game of Thrones. Like she was the longest lasting. She crushed everybody and had her completely unrelatable moments and then like very relatable moments.
Well, and it's what,
And
Killmonger in Black Panther, the first movie, an incredible villain because, like, he's completely goal oriented. He says the things that he wants to do, and you're kind of like, yeah, it kind of makes sense to me. I think I'd do the same thing.
right. So I love villains. And I mean, the dad in Succession is just brilliant. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it all plays out. And I think it's one of my better decisions this year.
That's great. That's great. Joy, excellent job. 4:30 FS1 Speak. Emmanuel Acho, LaShawn McCoy, Dave Hellman. See, I remember his name this time.
Emmanuel's very, very popular with Dolphin fans.
Yeah,
they like Emmanuel more than me.
Yeah, he loves Tua. He loves Tua. Great job, Joy. Anything else that you can plug? What else you got?
No, I'm going to the SEC championship game. Mason is going to be playing for LSU in the SEC championship game in Atlanta. So maybe I'll come on with you after that. I'm very excited.
I got to tell you real quick because you only got another minute here. I got to tell you real quick. After the game where your nephew caught the winning 2-point conversion, they beat Alabama. It was the same night that Miami got their shit kicked in by FSU. And your brother, obviously, he's at the game or whatever he's doing with the Canes, so he can't see it. And then someone must have told him right after the game, hey, this is what happened. You're not going to believe it. I mean, your brother must have said to himself, you know what? I fucking quit this job. Like, I got to get out of here. How can I mean, I missed that for this for 45-3. I missed this. He must have wanted to quit.
Dave Hyde wrote an amazing article about Jason's experience finding out that Mason did that.
Oh, I got to check that out. Okay.
You got to read it if you're one. It'll answer the question directly. Obviously, okay. He enjoys coaching, but it's a no, but it's a great article. So definitely go read that. I was crying like a baby. Yeah. I had to go to the bar to watch the game because Isaiah was playing for Arizona and the FSU game was on and the LSU game, LSU Alabama. So I'm like, I can't watch this at home. I only have so many screens. So I went to the bar and had it all in front of me, all three games. And I was obnoxious.
Amazing.
Like I forgot sort of forgot what that experience was like, because obviously watching Jason for all those years playing for the Dolphins, it gets different when it's your family member. Like, you care about the team, obviously, and you follow the team and you're passionate about it. But like, the wins and losses mean a lot more when you're rooting for your family member. And like, being a fan without that, I've had that experience for a long time as well. Obviously, Jason's been retired for quite some time. But like, the highs and lows of that now with my nephews playing, I'm like, oh, I forgot what the stress is like. Yep. Like, it's like back in my body again. But it was really great to watch him do that. I mean, that's a special moment. That's something you remember forever, beating Alabama. So it was awesome.
Great job, Joy. This was a lot of fun. We'll have you back. Did you enjoy ZASLOW Show 2.0? It's a fun experience.
It's very good. I like it, and it's different than old ZASLOW Show. So it's better.
Thanks, Joy. You're killing it out there. Big star. I'm very, very proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. And Dolphins fans, I still love you. Even though you give me a hard time every day. I'm very excited about what's happening this year. And yeah, I'm encouraging people, if they want to go, to book their tickets for Arizona now. Just book your hotels and such, because it's going to fill up quickly.
Unbelievable. Tell Alex Correa say hello, right?
I will. Bye, Zaz.